Look up the word crazy in the dictionary and you might just find an asterisk beside the definition that says, listen to the Subiquitous podcast featuring Sue Duffield and you'll find out what crazy means. Sue's travelogue journey of unfiltered stories, impossible miracles, and faith-filled fun will be revisited right here. So buckle up and let's get going with this humorous travelogue of an unfiltered saint, Subiquitous.
The oldies DJ inside of me and in my heart and my head always goes back to the 70s. Now, when I worked for WNRK Radio back in the 90s, we were still playing some great music from the 70s. And it's interesting now because an oldies radio station is really 90s and early 2000s music. Nay. But if I go back to 1973, one of my favorite voices, very almost like a one-hit wonder, very unknown, was Sandra Stephens. Look her up. She was the lead singer of a British pop group called the Brotherhood of Man. And in 1973, they had their hit song, United We Stand, Divided We Fall. And I'll never forget it, listening to it on my radio in my 1973 Gold Duster, cruising down Virginia Avenue in Penns Grove, New Jersey, listening, and all of a sudden this voice, Sandra Stephens says, "There's nowhere in the world I would rather be than with you, my love." And I went, Remember that song, United We Stand, Divided We Fall, and if our backs should ever be against the wall, we'll be together, you and I. I don't know what's happening in this world, but we need more songs like that. I'm for sure thinking it would be great to focus on what we're good at and focus what our likenesses are and not just what our differences are. That's what's happening. To me, it feels like all we do every day, we get up out of bed, we turn the news on, we, check our phones, and it's always, let's celebrate our differences. Well, this podcast and this episode is going to be about celebrating our likenesses. And I don't know what makes a marriage strong. I don't have a marriage degree. I don't have a marriage and family diploma on my wall. But I will say after 46 years, I think I kind of know something. And it is funny because the man in the other room says that if you're married long enough, you start thinking, acting, and looking alike. And I'm really, really sorry about all that. But Jeff, I say you look more like my father today than I look like my own father. What is that? I don't know. It's weird. It's just very weird.
I don't think I look like your father.
If you put on sunglasses, okay, and remember,
you could say that about everybody.
Yeah.
If you do this and you do that, it's called disguise. It's what spies use.
But you sound like him sometimes, you act like him sometimes, and you're not even genetically attached.
No. Well, I'll learn from him, that's for sure.
Well, I think you were around long enough. That's the problem.
Oh, I was around.
You've been around since you were 12 years old.
Yeah, since you guys discovered dirt.
I know.
Or electric or whatever it was.
So are you in agreement with me? I mean, we're going to take this a little further down the road.
Of course not. That would be a dull and boring show.
See?
I can't be in agreement with you.
No, this is the tension part. The tension part is you say tomato, I say tomato.
Yes, you do.
You say potato, I say potato.
You insist on the soap dispenser facing frontward on the sink.
Oh. That bothers me. Yeah, because,
Keep going.
It's
now
the label.
You're walking into this.
It's
I'm
the
just
label.
You know. Yes.
You don't have to pick up the soap dispenser. All you have to do with one hand motion, push your thumb on the top and then grab the lotion as it comes out and then put your hands under the sink.
So you admit before God and country,
yes,
and then all 62 people that happen to be listening at this moment.
There's more than that.
Oh, there is. you will admit that's a pet peeve of yours, that I sometimes turn the bottle and leave it facing backwards.
Well, I want everybody to know that I bought the 99-cent thing from Kroger. I want the label facing out.
Yes,
I don't want it facing the mirror.
Yeah, hundreds of people use our sink in our bathroom every day. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the same person that wants the soap bottle facing out because she wants to see the label.
Yes, because I'm proud of that Kroger.
This is the
Kroger
same
soap.
person that will leave that little scrubby brush handle thingy with the sponge on it in your kitchen sink that you use to wash pots and pans and dishes or whatever.
Which is a very unique
We'll
invention.
leave that laying in the bottom of the sink with dirty dishes and scraps of food and eggshells and whatever, and think nothing of it.
And so your point.
I think I made my point, and the crickets are just
I know. I
all
was
over
waiting
the
for.
place.
I was waiting for the crickets.
Yeah, well, we can put them in later.
Okay. So listen.
Yes, listen.
We were going to.
Or
listen,
as your father would
we're
say,
starting off on the wrong foot because I really, really, really wanted to talk about how united we stand and divided we fall.
well, we're getting to the united part. This is the division section. Or as your father would have said, yes, but.
Yes, but. Or better yet, the chocolate chip cookies that are on that, they are mine. They are not yours. Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Okay.
But we do have our likes and our dislikes.
You remember this? You remember who your engineer is that edits this
I know.
podcast and puts it out?
We have such a large staff here.
Yes. Go ahead.
So let me say, and let me ask you this then.
Okay.
As we have been married almost 47 years.
45 and a half. No, it's not 47.
It will be, won't it?
Well, eventually, yes.
Oh, it's 46 this year. Whatever. See,
If we hang around
when-
long
you
enough,
know, when you
if
have-
we get through this podcast, yes.
if you have such wedded bliss, you forget the days.
We were married December 21st, 1974, the
that's
year
right.
of our Lord.
1974. I
And
was
so
just
that
a
makes
child.
this past
Yeah.
December 21st,
All right. Okay.
2019, I believe, if my math is correct,
Yes.
the 45th year. So this is 45 years and approximately a little more than 6 months.
But I've never been good with numbers.
No, but you were great with integers.
All right. Now this is enough. You're really digging deep.
And
this was
there's
going to
some-
go all in your favor. This whole podcast was going to go praise the husband.
Oh, yeah.
Uplift,
Oh, and I got some property I'd like to sell you down in the swamps of Florida.
I know. It's okay.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not. I quit. I'm giving up. This is your podcast now. Go ahead.
Okay. More crickets.
So what you're experiencing right now, truthfully,
Is a day in the life of Jeff
is
and
it
Sue.
really this is the part that I don't know how to teach. And that is
I don't know if you want to
Well,
teach. But go
I
ahead.
think the longevity of people who live together and love each other and serve each other and are respectful of each other also have fun together.
Who might that be?
And I love to tease the life out of you.
And I correspond.
I know,
It's
but
just different formats.
It is
of
you have a
teasing.
different form of
Very much so.
But if we can't laugh at each other, it's just pretty sad. Mm-hmm. So what do you think makes a marriage strong?
I'm a musician.
But you should know these answers.
Why?
Because
Well, because why?
what makes a marriage strong to you? Is that a better question?
Maybe.
Okay.
Well, I think you mentioned it. Humor is a big
All
factor.
right. Is that humor or humor? Jeff has this
go
thing.
ahead.
See, he has
Go
this
right
thing.
ahead.
He
I'll
can't say
give
his
you
H's.
more than enough to-
his H's. It's like it's humid outside. And he has humor. His humor bone, and it's
You've been
humid.
waiting for me to do that.
I just don't get mad. I get
don't-
even.
Yeah, that's my father's line.
Well, let's pretend. Okay, here we
Okay,
go. Let's
alrighty.
pretend we're on the newlywed game. And we actually have
And
done.
these things make this is like doing my taxes, which I got to get done this week, and right up there with root canals.
No, it's
doing
not.
these multiple
See?
choice. Guess what I'm thinking?
No.
Questions. But go ahead.
Well, see, Jeff,
this is your podcast. Your name's on it.
Well,
Go for
listen, you, my friend, were
yes,
immersed immediately into the Beatty realm.
Yes, I
back
was.
in 1969.
More like the Beatty Circus, but I digress.
That's true. I will admit
The flying
that was right.
faux pas, as it
was.
were.
And we were a fun-loving, game-oriented family. And Jeff Duffield
was
shows
not.
up, and you wanted nothing to do with card games.
No.
You wanted nothing to do with board games.
Well, first of all, you couldn't anything greater or more involved than Old Maid, and that was about it.
So you don't even know the names of childhood card games?
No, because you weren't allowed to, because you would not be a Christian if you
No.
played those games.
Nay. I grew
That's
up
what I was told.
with a whole street load of Methodists, those card-playing Methodists and Catholics. So... No, listen. Your problem is this.
Thanks for telling me my problem.
You never had anybody show you how to have fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a ubiquitous marriage counseling session. Welcome to it. No one showed me how to have fun.
No,
okay.
but your idea.
My life didn't begin until I met you.
Well,
we all know that.
That's right.
Yes.
Write it down.
Yes,
1969, your life dramatically changed because
yes.
I taught Jeff Duffield how to have fun. Isn't that the truth, though?
Well, you taught me how to have more fun, but I did, contrary to popular opinion, I did smile and I laughed, and we had parties at our house.
But they were all adulting things. You weren't really around lots of kids and teenagers in your house, were you? Did you have teenagers coming in and out of your house like I did on Dixie Drive?
No, but you were running a boarding house.
No. I know.
I had kids.
Well, you lived too far out in the country. True.
I had kids we played in the neighborhood we played ball with. And
but you just had
we didn't go in each other's houses. Our mothers wouldn't let them.
Okay, listen.
Especially my mother.
You need to listen, people. You need to know that this is a man that I first met that did not own a pair of jeans. No. You didn't have jeans when I met you. You didn't.
I didn't check my inventory before I went to meet you. But no,
You were always dressed up. You always had those double knit pants on and those mid boots.
What?
And
I had jeans. My mother bought me and
but
dressed
I never
me in
saw
jeans
you in a
as
pair of
kid.
jeans. Not once did I see you in a pair of jeans until 1973.
As I tell my children. There was life before you. Sometimes it's hard for you to imagine that.
It's hard for me to imagine that.
But yes, I had a brief one, but up until about, 11 or 12 years old, I existed.
I know you did.
And I did things.
And you know what was so attractive to me about you is that you were like
My
nobody.
double knit pants?
No.
I had a Nehru jacket. That was hip.
You were hip, but you were like no one I had ever met before. Because all of the guys that I had...
Ditto cabbage head, as my father used to say.
All the guys I dated prior to you
yes,
were all
the
athletic.
guys. Here we go on that, too. All the guys.
Well, there were a couple of them.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Gidget goes to Pensgrove or whatever.
No, and they were all pretty much athletes. And you were the first musician type that I ever dated. Okay. And it was a real shock to my father.
Were you going down the subject or categories?
No, but it was hard for my
this
dad.
Week I'm going to try a musician. Let's see how that works.
It was hard for my dad. He was a hunter. He was a fisherman.
His mother was a musician.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to marry my mother.
No, you were going to marry your mother.
Yeah, no,
but you're saying it was hard that your father. Okay.
My father had this image, that his daughter would, for example, remember Bob Jackson?
Yes.
Bob Jackson was left tackle on our high school football team, Big burly guy.
Yes.
And then, I dated Alan Turner for a little bit, and Alan was a long-distance marathon runner.
And he rode a motorcycle.
Yeah. Well, he did do that. But you did not buy a motorcycle till after you met me.
Right.
See?
You weren't the influence on that.
Who was?
Myself. I always wanted one. My father would not allow me
But
to
I
have
helped you,
one.
right?
You helped me?
Yeah.
How did you help me?
I helped you like motorcycles.
I had my first motorcycle ride
at
at approximately 8 or 9 years old. Joseph W. Sayer his name was.
Right. I remember you
From my
telling me the story.
hometown family friend who
Right.
took me out on his BSA
Yes.
650
Wow.
and opened it up with me on the back, and I said, I like this.
Yeah.
That was before I met you, sweetheart.
I know, but the point I'm making is
Yes.
the
And
point
I hope
I'm making is
we better get to it because this podcast can't last for an hour and a half.
the point that I'm making is
Yes.
what makes a marriage strong is when the other person enlightens the other one.
Oh,
right?
is that the? Oh, okay. Is that
now you
where we're
enlightened
going?
me. Let me just say, you enlightened me on music that I was not aware of. Things that,
Some things.
yeah.
Yeah. And
All right, but we're going to play.
I've enlightened you as the definition of an integer. I feel that's one of my
there's
life's
only one
achievements.
person that will possibly listen to this that's going to get that joke. Okay?
The rest of them will get it as soon as I explain it.
I didn't know what the word integer meant. Okay?
This was a girl.
Don't
No,
make it long.
No,
Don't
I
make
will
it
not.
long.
I will not. I promise. This is a girl who graduated with honors, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
In her high school
National
class.
Honor Society.
National Honor Society.
Right.
Right. Her boyfriend at that time, who she was enlightening about everything in the world, according to her, did not graduate anywhere near. He didn't even know where the honor class was, and let alone what
But you were smarter than that. You just didn't do school.
And after graduating, after marriage, one day, we were discussing numbers
Okay.
with you and me and a friend of ours who happened to be a math teacher.
Yes.
And somehow numbers came up or whatever, and I used in the
word
sentence,
integer.
in a sentence, and you looked
I
at
was-
me as if I had 6, 7 heads
I
on top of
do.
my shoulders.
And I still don't know what it means.
But you
That's
graduated
okay. I
in
did.
the honor
That's
society.
Right. I graduated with
and
honors.
I graduated with by the smoke of my clothing or
Yes,
something
and
like
I
that.
am the CEO of Subiquitous Podcast.
Oh boy.
Oh boy! Okay,
All right,
we're
moving
gonna
on.
we're gonna play just off of each other here. We're gonna
This
play
is
a little bit of a
This is scintillating radio here, or podcasting. And do you know what
Newlywed.
scintillating means?
we're gonna do newlywed game.
Okay.
All right,
All
okay,
right.
just pretend. All right, so
I can hardly wait.
I'm gonna ask you a question. You have to come up with the answer. All right, just see how well you know.
Okay.
All right, who is my favorite all-time singer-musician?
Would it be the one that you had the life-size, in-color, close-up poster in your bedroom closet?
Possibly.
Yeah. Gino Vanelli.
Okay,
That
number
was
2.
an easy one.
Where would I rather be right now? Anywhere, actually. Where would I rather be right this minute?
Where
on
would
this,
I rather send you right now?
Where would I rather be right now on this very July sunny day?
Oh, at the pool, at the beach. Anything to do with water and sand.
Okay, specifically?
Well, Cape May, if we're going in that direction. Cape
Ding,
May,
ding,
New
ding, ding,
Jersey.
ding. Okay, number 3.
Yes.
Where did we meet for the very first time?
Oh, now this is up to discussion.
All right,
And
we'll find out.
remembrances of our foggy brain
Okay,
cells.
all right.
I say, my remembrance says we met at my church.
That's correct.
You say nay nay.
No, it was you're right. I think it was at our church.
Okay, I thought you said you used to believe that we met
At Camp First?
Maybe. Well,
You know, we did meet at Camp First and then your church because it was the same year.
okay. Okay.
But
Well,
that
it
would
wouldn't
that
have
that you're right. You're right on both of that. Okay.
Okay.
And here's my last and final question before
Okay.
I hear yours.
Oh, boy.
Okay. If you had all the money in the world
If I
and
had
could buy
all
me
the money in
anything
the world. Yes. If I could
without
buy you
question, what would it
anything.
be?
If I could buy you anything without question.
Mm-hmm. And money is not an object.
A house?
Just build my mansion. No, nor to
You're setting off my.
and
Your
tell
clapping
the
is setting off my
angel. Okay.
limiters in here. You're
All right, what are your
my
4
equipment
questions
is-
to me?
My equipment is going nuts when you start the percussion in there.
I'm sorry.
So just let you know.
Okay.
So if anyone hears any distortion,
Okay.
that's the reason.
All right.
Okay. These are just really. This is my favorite part of the world.
Okay.
Favorite movie.
Your favorite movie?
I believe that's how it was set up.
Oh
yes.
my word. You're
Now remember, as you're deciding, I have to pick one. So
your favorite movie. I think every time it's on.
and it was just on. Well, no, it wasn't.
No, I think Patton is your favorite movie.
Yeah, there was one very similar to it. There was a friend of ours.
Toro.
No,
I don't know.
No,
that was my father's.
Dirty Dozen is the one I.
That would have been a good one too. Okay, well, we were close.
But Patton is probably my favorite movie. It's up there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up there.
All right.
Okay, favorite part of the United States.
Without question, if you had a place to actually go and to live, would be the Smoky Mountains.
Correct.
Can we go tomorrow?
Oh, it's fine with me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, that was good. See, I had to think, though, for a minute.
Two more here.
All right, here we go.
And again, I'm not... We'll see.
Okay.
Favorite Christmas present?
Your favorite Christmas present that you ever got?
Yeah. And I'm going to be fascinated to find out what this is, too.
Oh, I think I know, though.
Okay.
I remember... Now, I don't know what it was before knowing who you were.
Here we go back to that again.
But I think I'll never forget seeing your face on Christmas Day when my brother presented you with the Phillies 2008 commemorative baseball bat for Christmas.
That's a really good one.
Is that a good answer?
That's a really good one. I had a couple, but
what were the other ones?
Oh, my red stingray Schwinn stingray.
Oh yeah, well, see, I would. Yeah,
that
I wasn't there.
That was before I met you.
Okay, well, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll go Sammy Maudlin on you for
All right.
a second.
Oh no, don't cry.
No, I won't do that. But the first year that we had children, that David was born.
Yeah.
That was a great Christmas.
Oh yeah, with babies. Oh yeah, there's no question. Yeah. Okay, what's your last one?
Okay, moving on. Favorite. I can talk. Just watch me. Favorite female actress. This one might throw you.
Meredith Baxter Birney. No, I mean, that used to be. I don't know. Let me think.
Yeah, she used to be a real. Yeah, that was a real
Your
good one.
Your favorite female actress.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is a good one. I remember you really, really were in love with Meredith Baxter Birney.
She was really, really pretty.
She was, but I don't know.
Well, a second would have to be, to me, would be Linda Carter, Wonder Woman.
I have never heard you say that.
Oh yeah, she's pretty. I mean,
but I've never heard you even mention
without, just dressed in normal clothes without the Wonder Woman.
That was my father's favorite.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
See, you're my father's child.
I thought he looked like Doris Day. Doris Day would be up in the top 5.
Oh, I was going to say, I almost said her because we got that thing from Walmart, that composite album collection by Doris Day during the pandemic.
Hudson or Jim Garner movies. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to let you go.
This podcast is over.
No, it's not. It's never done. We're going to do part 2 next week because we have a whole lot more to cover.
Yeah, we've chewed up a lot of time here on this one.
That's okay.
Did I hear something about go?
Yes, you can be done.
I can be done?
Yes, you are.
Okay. But I'm going to, let's see, I'm looking over across the room.
Yeah.
I think somewhere over there.
Oh, there's chocolate chip cookies.
Yes.
There's also some lemon pound cake left. Did you eat that?
No, there isn't any more.
Oh, who ate that?
You said to eat it, so you wouldn't be tempted.
I know.
That which beyond you could bear. Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm going.
All right.
Finish up well.
I will.
Okay.
It's not how you start. Good guys finish last. Leo DeRocher.
Something like that, yes.
That's his favorite book, by the way.
No, it's not my
Yes, it is. You read it every year.
Not my
it is your favorite
book.
It's the Bible of baseball.
It's not. It's a... Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye. Here's what I'm saying. Everything you've heard is exactly what goes on 24 hours a day. And when I think about it, I wouldn't trade it for anything. George Barna, who founded the Barna Research Group, and he's one of the leading marketing specialists and a research firm that focuses on faith and culture. One of the things that he has said time and time again, that there are surveys that show that not only are marriages generally at a real crisis, but Christian marriages more than ever before. And even in the millennials and this newer generation, they're leaving the church in droves, basically, and fewer adults have a biblical worldview today than they've ever had before. And in all honesty, the Christian life is never perfect. The Christian life is not about, Ozzie and Harriet anymore. It really isn't. Everything perfected, dinner on the table and mom all dressed up and the four and the two kids sitting around the table and exchanging. It's a whole new world now. And we have learned, Jeff and I have learned, and we're going to carry this on to podcast next week. We're going to carry it on again because this is too much to cover. But one of the things that we have learned, and we're not, like I say, we're not perfectionists, and we're surely not marriage counselors. But somehow along the way, over the years, we've been thwarted into saving a couple of marriages. And that is really the truth. If it's nothing more than just listening, if it's nothing more than just sitting and counseling or even shouting and yelling. We did a number of that on a couple occasions. I refuse to watch my friends, and I refuse to watch the demise of a marriage over something that can be fixed. And Charles Swindoll even said in his book, and I love this book called The Grace Awakening. If you haven't read it, there's a quote from there that says, "My encouragement for you today is that each one of us pursue what unites us rather than the few things that separate us. There was a time in my life," Charles says, "when I had answers to questions that no one was asking. I had a position that life was so rigid I would fight for every jot and every tittle. I mean, I couldn't list enough things that I would die for. And the older I get, the shorter that list gets." Did you hear that one phrase there? I had answers to questions that no one was asking. Jeff and I have learned over the years how to say we're sorry, and we're musicians, and that makes us crazy and nuts as it is. Let alone throw us together since we've been 13 years old, married at 19, and traveling together and being together 24/7. I will admit that there are times that we need a little bit of a sacred distance, I guess is the word, just to kind of regroup. And funny story, I'll tell on myself. I was going through my irritable stage one time, and I was so overwhelmed and so bummed that the hotel closed down the breakfast bar. And it's not like me to get upset, but I went, "Are you kidding me? We missed it by 5 minutes." And Jeff was like, "Uh-oh." And then I couldn't find my glasses, and then we ended up going to a Cracker Barrel, and I sat down in a huff at the Cracker Barrel, and I looked at him. I was freezing, and I said, "I'm going out to get my coat, and I want you to order me an orange juice, and I'm going to drink that, and when I get that done, I want you to order me another one." And I walked out. I never get like that. Really? And you can ask him. I never blow up like that, but I had one of those days that just wasn't very pretty. And the older I get, I gotta say, I really want to walk away from those altercations and get rid of those animosities and get rid of that details of difficulty and stuff. And Max Lucado even said that on the last night of his life, Jesus prayed a prayer that stands as a citadel for all Christians, knowing that the end is near. And Jesus prays one final time for his followers, and striking that, he prayed not for their success, not for their safety, and not for their happiness. What did he pray for? He prayed for their unity, and he prayed that they would love each other. Wow, it's a choice. I know you know this. And some of you might be going through difficulties in your marriage right now as you're listening to this. And for sure, there are many podcasts out there that can help you. But can I give you a little insight from somebody who does not have something hanging on the wall that classifies her as a specialist? Take things with a grain of sand sometimes, and take something, and instead of blowing it up out of proportion, begin to say, is it really worth it for me to get upset over this? Is it really worth it for me? And the truth is, what I'm seeing now, especially during COVID-19 and the shutdowns and wearing masks. Do we wear a mask? Don't we wear a mask? And all of the opinions that are out there about what really is going on in our culture and our world right now. It is so easy to be divided rather than united. It's so easy to say, well, my skin color is different than yours, therefore I have more prominence and I have a better right. And I'm saying to you that not everybody thinks like that. We think they do because that's what we're being bombarded with everywhere we turn, that we're celebrating diversities. But yet I'm saying, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, let's celebrate what unites us. And my friend, what unites us today more than anything is the power of Jesus Christ. He unites us. What unites us is far greater than anything that divides us. We'll see you next week. We're going to carry part 2 of this episode of United We Stand, Divided We Fall. Who knows where it's going to go? But thanks for listening. And just by mentioning episode 9, United We Stand, Divided We Fall, you'll receive a free download of my book, Subiquitous, A Humorous Travelogue of an Unfiltered Saint. Send an email to radiosue@me.com for the digital download, or comment on my website, SueDuffield.com. Mention episode 9 for the free Subiquitous virtual download. I want to also say a special shout out to all my new patrons on patreon.com/Sue Duffield. Lots of perks and lots of benefits by becoming a patron. Get on patreon.com, patreon.com, Sue Duffield, or just log on to my website for all the information at SueDuffield.com. We have more fun than we probably should. But what unites you and me is far greater than what divides us. We'll see you next week.